Hello. This is the first in a series of videos that I'm creating to help support those children who are making the transfer from primary school to secondary school this September. These videos are going to really be focusing on the emotional and feelings side of transitions and changes. And this first video is going to be looking at what changes and what stays the same. Now, I'm sure that most of you have been doing lots of work with your grown-ups at school or at home about the transition and what things are going to be different, and that's really important. But one area of our brain that becomes quite affected and sort of switches on and finds it hard to switch off when there's a big change or transition happening in our lives is something called our amygdala, and it looks a little bit like an almond, which is a nut, and it sits in the middle of our brain. And our amygdala is all to do with helping us to feel safe, helping us to seek safety in our lives, and it's really useful. But sometimes it can become a little bit overactive, a little bit too dominant, and when it does, we need to do some exercises and use some coping strategies to help this little part of our brain to calm down and realise that we are safe. So something that I'm going to ask you to do is to think about what is staying the same. And I don't want you to just think about it. I want you to get really creative, and I want you to create a poster or a mind map, or if you hate drawing, you can just do a list, but I want it to be really beautiful, of all the things that are going to stay the same, because it can feel like when we're transitioning to secondary school, and I remember it really well myself, that it's this huge thing and it's just taking over our lives and it's the only thing we can think about. And actually, yes, it is huge, and yes, it's very exciting or very worrying or a bit of both, but it's only one part of our lives. And the things that you might want to note down first of all that are staying the same are, for most of us, our families. For most of us, our close friendships, where we live, our hobbies and interests, our pets. There are so many things, and I'm sure you can think of more than that, that are staying the same. Now, the reason that I want you to make a beautiful poster or mind map or amazingly attractive list is that I want you to stick it somewhere that you will see it every day. Maybe your bedroom, maybe the fridge, somewhere that you're going to really notice it. And at the times where your amygdala is really switched on and it's taking over and it's causing you to worry about situations or to feel some anxiety, or maybe it's not even that you're feeling anxious, it's just that you can't stop thinking about all the different changes that might happen and how to solve them. I want you to look at that list, and I want you to remind yourself that changing schools is only one part of your life, and there are so many parts that are staying the same. And I want you to choose one thing from that list in that moment that makes you feel safe, makes you feel secure and comforted. And I want you to do a really short practice. So sit down, close your eyes or look down, take a long breath out and a gentle breath in, and imagine that thing that is helping you to feel safe. It might be a cuddle, it might be playing in your garden, it might be a friend. For me, it's my dog that I'm thinking about right now. And I want you to really imagine yourself in that situation or with those people or with that pet, and just spend some time there and notice how your body and mind feel. And when you notice that your mind and body start to feel a bit different, your mind starts to slow down and your body starts to soften, then open your eyes, come back to the room and go about whatever it was that you were doing with your day. And you can use that as often as you like. So as much as it's important to look at and notice the things that are changing, it's also important to notice the things that are staying the same.